Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Four Back, episode 24. My name is Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Hadlington. Good evening, sir. I think Hadlington's muted himself. Great start. So, good evening to Shaz. Good evening, sir.
Greetings, Dan. Greetings,
I
Had.
am here. Apologies. I am
You
here.
are here. You are here. Well, first of all, chaps, I've got to say a massive thank you for last week. It was a tough few days that I had, losing obviously a mate of mine who was really close to me, and obviously I've got to thank you guys for taking the reins for just that 1 week, and of course yourself, Hads, Shads, and McNally, who obviously stepped in as a guest presenter. So a massive thank you for that, guys. Really do appreciate it. And just to thank you to all the messages and comments I've received from people, giving me support and everything. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing that.
No, Had did a tremendous job hosting.
He did indeed. He did indeed, and long may it continue. He's certainly he's got the bug for it now. You watch. Anyways, on tonight's program, we're going to have a look back at the Knockout Cup matches that took place last week. We also have our first guest of the season, which is going to be Bobby, which links in to the Cowboys versus Wolves review. We've got, as always, Shaz's Rider of the Week. We've got our usual break. I'm going to go back onto the returnee focus of the riders that have returned to the game this year in season 19. And then, of course, we look ahead to the League Week 2 previews. So a lot to get on tonight's show. So we're going to start off with the first match that took place last week, and that was the Hackney Norse up against the Plymouth Panthers. Now, this was an amended score because it was originally 59-31, but as you can see in that heat number 9 there, the attack sub was used. Well, I wouldn't say illegally, just wasn't allowed to actually have happen.
Well, I would say legally.
Well, I'm trying to be polite here, Shads. So of course the match was then obviously the heat was actually amended as a non-scorer for that rider replacement ride. But it made literally no difference to the result as Hackney ran away with a 61-29 meeting win on that night. So obviously, looking back, the Hackney we knew from the previous season, I mean, how they've changed is unbelievable. I mean, even losing Fakey in that first round or that first heat with the 2-minute time allowance, they just had that backup right the way through. That the entire team were on either a full maximum or a paid maximum, bar Fakey. I mean, Hads, your thoughts on Hackney, because this was unbelievable.
I think you mean Shads.
Sorry, Shads, go ahead, mate.
It didn't take long, did it?
My apologies. My apologies.
2 minutes in. I wouldn't mind if we look the same, but anyway. Yeah. Well, this is I think what we call in the trade an absolute battering. Like you said, Dan, Fecky even missed a couple of his rides because he had his trying to get his kids to bed, and they still scored 61 points. It was absolutely crazy. I mean, every North ride had a heat win. I mean, you don't often see that in meetings. 12 heat winners and only 2 last places. I mean, that tells you everything. I mean, if Fecky hadn't missed those 2, God knows what the score would have been. It would probably be mid-60s.
Well,
I mean, every single North rider. I mean, the new guys carried on as they did the week before. I mean, Tanny, as someone who's only been in the game 2 or 3 weeks, you're paid 12. It's quite remarkable, really. I mean, no one knew anything about him. I mean, we've seen Jack Lodker in a meeting, so we knew he had something about him. But Tanny, we absolutely knew nothing about. I mean, now we know what to expect now. I think a lot of teams are going to be on their guard and not going to be surprised. But I think my prediction of North finishing bottom of the league is looking a bit suspect now.
Yeah.
Obviously, their away form last year was horrendous. I think they got absolutely battered everywhere. But this year, who knows? Moving on to the Panthers, I'll keep this brief because I don't think they'll want to be hearing too much about it. I think they want to brush it under the carpet and forget about it. I mean, to use rider replacement for your fourth average rider it really works. I mean, but they're again, Apesy, what could he do? There's a lack of suitable guests. The only guess he could have used was me, and I don't think I would have scored much more than the 2 points they got from rider replacement. Not against that North team. So yeah, I think the second leg pretty academic now, but it's just to be a bit of practice for the Panthers around their home track, and maybe get a bit of pride back.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, like I said, that the Hackney team that are here this year are definitely meaning business. But of course, contrasting tracks for this tie in particular. Big open track of Hackney, tight technical track of Plymouth. It's not over yet. I mean, Plymouth can go to, Hackney can go to Plymouth whenever it's next happening, and do the same thing that what Hackney did to them. So nothing's ever scripted in this sport. So anything can and could possibly happen. As you said, the Hackney form from last year to this year has definitely changed. So the riders going to Hackney this year definitely have to have their wits about them, because Hackney around that place now, they're going to take some stopping if that's how they're going to perform. So moving on to our second match, and this one was a bit more closer. It was the Newcastle Piemen against the Hyde Spartans. Now, I believe this match was actually broadcast live. I believe, if I'm correct in saying, I think it was.
It was.
It was, yeah. And correction, I think it is episode 25. My apologies. I thought it was 24. My apologies on. So yeah, a Newcastle Piemen 44, Hyde Spartans 46. Now again, very, very good match. You want to keep it close. And Racer Ryan was pretty much looking like a full max, and then that commentator's curse on Heat 15 certainly played dividends to that. But then looking down the scores, I mean, Powys leading the way 14 out of 15. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that race on Facebook. I think it was Heat 7 he was in. And he was pretty much like stone last. And then literally just picked them off one by one like they were standing still and got the win. And he was superb. And again, consistent scoring all the way through. Your big three, Powys, Squall, Bewitcher, all scoring double figures. And then, of course, everyone getting involved and chipping in with points.
Go on, be honest, Dan. I know what you want to say.
What am I going to say?
He's skirting around it, Had, isn't he?
What am I going to say?
He's saving the best till last.
No. I'm just saying everyone scored points and they all chipped in, apart from Hampton's last two.
Yeah, but Dan, be fair to Had. I had Tintin as my rider to watch. He scored 1 point. What do I know?
But I would say on that home form for Powys, definitely. I mean, matches against him and Craig and Stefan are going to be one to watch out for in the future. Definitely. But in fairness, Hyde take a 2 point lead back to Hyde Road. Of course, Powys they used to ride there. So he'll be looking to get one over the new Hyde number 1 again. But just great match to watch, great one to stream, and 44-46, can't go wrong with that. It was a great match for all, and great to watch. And I would say potentially man of the matches for me. Well, you got to look at Powys and Racer Ryan for either teams. You know, they're showing the number one credentials. Only 0.4 averages between them in terms of the average they got. So yeah, and also one thing I don't know if you guys noticed in this match, there was no 5-1s.
Correct.
I think that's an actual record. I think it is no 5-1s in an STS match. I could be wrong, but that's the first time I've seen it that has had no 5-1s.
Don't expect me to go through all the seasons and do the research on that one, mate.
I don't expect to anyway, mate. I
There's
don't
not
think
enough hours in the day for that.
Oh,
Blimey.
dear.
Yeah.
I would actually say, though, I think when you say on about the void of the night, I'd actually say Toretto, because I raced against him 3 times, and every single time he blocked me on the inside, he blocked me on the outside, and I think he must have got his team an extra 3 or 4 points just by doing that alone.
Mm.
He got Cappy through so many times, and it was tough, to be fair. I know people compared him to Stefan when he used to race in the past and stuff. I know, obviously, I've never raced against him in a meeting before, but I can see why now.
Absolutely. I mean, because I rode with Toretto in season 3 of Icemen, and he was fantastic. Everywhere he went, he was always top scorer, and just literally going. It was indeed the Romford Icemen. Yeah, Romford Icemen. We had our first league win, I believe, against the Oxford Sabres. I think it was back in the day. I think it was one of those matches. Yeah, a long time ago. But yeah, it was the Romford Icemen. Then went to the Somerset Icemen. Then they had the league winners trophy. And I think I'm right in saying that if I am correct, when the Icemen rode at Somerset, I think Stefan was signed as my replacement when I hung up the wheels.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I think that's right. I'm not too sure. I have to double check that.
So it's your fault then?
It is my fault. Yeah. it was my fault. Yeah, I got the goat on the game, and look where it's got you. Oh, brilliant. But yeah, great match to watch in this one, 44-46. Again, great win for the Spartans, a nice home win, but nothing's ever finished here when it's this close, 14 out of 15. 44-46. Anything can happen in the second leg. And we might as well say the same thing to the Birmingham Wolves, as they took on the new Poole Cowboys, and this one actually lost. This is actually in real life Poole Pirates score, basically. This one was unreal. In fact, I'm not going to say much. I'm going to try and bring in our guest if we can now. So obviously we had him linked to this bit here. He rode in this match, only scored 7 points, but helped the team to a win. Bobby, good evening, sir.
Hello, you all right?
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, very good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I mean, Bobby, I've got to start off, mate, by saying if Poole carry on that performance all season, that's the league for you, definitely, because this performance that night was just wow. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'd had quite a long time to practice, having the first week off, which massively helped. And it's not been used, I don't think, since it's been retailed either. So, the recordings are out there now. So that's obviously we've got a bit of a advantage in the first meeting, but people have got a chance to have a look at recordings and stuff now. So we won't. I don't think we'll get another one as easy as that. And it was purely because I think obviously Wolves hadn't seen any recordings. I think I'd said after the meeting they were riding the wrong line for the first 6 days they were practicing it.
Yeah, I think Ad's put a message on his little voice thing he's got for the Wolves, and they said obviously what was happening was they were on the wrong lines, and it was a bit of a baptism of fire for that one. Of course, you made the switch this year from Edinburgh to Poole. A lot of talk about it. Where would most teams go? But you picked Poole this year. When you said the track was going to be Poole this year, how did your boys like? Did they like agree, or did they like say, "Oh, great choice," or can we make it a home track advantage for us?
Well, we narrowed it down to 4, and then everyone was asked to put 3 points for their favourite, 2 for the second, 1 for the third, and none for the last. And we added up the team total, and Poole won by a point. Won by a point over Wembley.
Oh, so it would have been the Wembley Cowboys. Oh,
yeah. So it was
oh,
purely a team vote. So that was the fairest way to do it. And that came out on top with the combined scores of all lads.
May I ask what the other 2 choices were you had?
MK, I think.
Milton Keynes.
Yeah, and Redcar.
Taking the old Hadlington space from Dynamite.
Yeah. we all quite like Redcar, but everyone else does. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So not much of a home track. Not much of a home track advantage then for you guys if you went to Redcar.
No, but we thought the more we rode Poole, we thought there's lots of different lines and options around here. I liken it a little bit to Somerset. It's fairly easy to ride it, but it's very difficult to ride it quickly.
Yeah.
Slightly off and you'll lose, 0.1, 0.2 on a lap, which is quite a lot in STS.
Because of course you only had, well, it was either 5 1s or 4 2s that you had, and then of course the meters you had that the 3 alls was against like a stronger rider. But apart from the score, I mean, you got to credit Birmingham's determination. I mean, getting those 3 heat wins from you, and even win the last 2 with Owen and Sis. I mean, I guess you could say that this match has obviously now been put to bed. You can now move on to the second round, but of course, as I say, that anything's possible in STS, or nothing's ever scripted, is it?
No. I mean, I think we'd be massively disappointed if we didn't progress after that first leg score. But I think the things can happen. But yeah, we've got the next meeting now, which you'll sort of preview later, I'm sure. But against Plymouth, they'll be looking to get sort of back to some kind of form after their cup performance, and obviously they've got a chance to look at the recordings, and they've had like a week to practice there, and they'll be up for putting in a better display than they did against North. So there's nothing ever taken for granted.
Yeah. Had you reviewing this one? I just want to get your thoughts on the Cowboys. Maybe you can got a couple of questions for Bobby whilst you got me here.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, we all know it was a bit of a hammering, shall we say? But how did you find riding with Le Sorcier, Bobby? Obviously, he spent last year not racing in the league. I mean, we all know what he can bring. Did you enjoy riding alongside him?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's certainly not a 4.25, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's been flying. They all have, to be fair. In practice, everyone's going well. I mean, Steph, Rico, 101, and Dip were all on paid maximums after their program rides. So
yeah,
they've all kind of slowly got the hang of the track and the different lines and how to switch from one to the other without losing too much speed. And obviously that's the key to it, trying to work out where the opposition might try and go and avoiding them.
Yeah.
Cakes just said you. Oh, go on, Hads. Sorry, Hads. I was just watching chat.
No, I was just saying. Also, you paired my 2 former teammates together at 3 and 4. Was that always the plan?
Yeah, that's what we were looking at. The way they'd been riding in practice, it seemed the obvious choice to put Steph and Rico together. They kind of have an understanding of where each other are going to go.
Yeah.
And obviously want to dip road together anyway. And I thought if we have our number 1 riding with our number 4, you'd fancy Steph to win most of those heat, 11s at home or 12s away. So it kind of takes the pressure off the 4. If they come last, we hopefully get the 3 each, and then being 1-1 can take on their number 1 against the number 4 was the kind of thinking. But it worked. Whether it works every week remains to be seen once people get to grips with the track. But yeah, we couldn't have asked for a better start, and we'll see how we get on Monday.
You know, Capesy said, "Yeah, can't wait to race you guys, Bobby." Lol. Reading in the chat, Tank said, Steph surely suggested MK. Is that correct?
I actually suggested MK. Steph quite liked it, but I suggested it. It was one of them. Again, it's been retail. I can't remember it being used for anything recently, and that's what we were looking at. Really, a track that no one's going to be able to go and look at some recordings from. It hasn't been used for a while. Doesn't really get used in fun servers that much either.
No.
So yeah, that's what we were looking for, which is probably why we discounted Redcar. Le Sorcier was a big fan of Wembley. He was flying around there. But a few of the others kind of struggled to get that one. So yeah, it came down to Pool really. We found that was a bit more fun than MK.
Well, Tank's just put in the chat. He's put MK version 1, season 3. Warriors last time the old version was used of MK. Milton Keynes Warriors season 3. I remember it well. God, long time ago.
I remember riding against an MK side when I first started for Scunthorpe Sabres. I think they had Craig, Tank, Jan, and it was that really, really annoying inside line.
I hated that. Oh, I hated that.
It was so easy, but so hard to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping Pool might be. So if you look at it, you look at the recordings, it seems fairly straightforward, but slightly off, and you lose time.
And I think looking at team building as well, like you had your team building, you were able to get Stefan again for the Cowboys, also being the first pick. Well, I think he's got first pick. But getting Stefan again, just what's it like just having that caliber of rider at number 1 for your team?
Oh, it's great, yeah, and Steph was quite happy coming back. I mean, the less said about team building, the better. But we can go there if you want.
I wasn't going to say anything, but we'll might keep it there. But like I said, just having Stefan.
Don't stop him, Dan. Don't stop him. Let him have his say.
Go on then, Bobby. The floor is yours. Go for it, my friend. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll get myself into trouble. It was a farce, but there we are.
Yeah, but like I said, mate, with that performance, last night? Yeah, or was it the night before?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. To have that performance on Wednesday was just unreal. But I mean, if it continues, I mean, you've certainly got a little diamond in the rough there with the pool selection this season, and of course, long may it continue into the league and all that. So
yeah, we hope so. We'll see on Monday, I guess.
Yeah, Hads, any final comments for Bobby?
No, just obviously great start to the season for you lads, and I can't actually believe you were the lowest score, to be honest. But that's no disrespect for your 7-1, obviously. But
you can thank Owen. You can thank Owen for that. Put him in the fence twice.
He fenced me once and grassed me once. Little sod.
Oh dear.
I think I wound him up.
That's kind of me not really having much race experience on the track. Servers are completely different, and you go in the grass and you don't think anything of it, but in a meeting you go back and look and think, well, how did I end up in that position? Which obviously I put myself in the positions to end up letting him do that, which you learn from as you race it.
Yeah. Oh,
Fair play. Sizzler enjoyed those two anyway.
I'm sure he will, and I'm sure he'll be looking forward to the next match because, of course, the Wolves head to his old stomping ground, Hyde, at the in the next round of the league, I believe. We're going to get to that in a little bit. We won't keep you, Bobby. Thanks for joining in, mate, and really appreciate you popping in as always. You've been a great addition to the podcast in the last few weeks. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the season, bud.
Yeah, thanks very much. Keep up the good work. I shall chat to you again at some point, I'm sure. Thank you.
Of course, mate. Take it easy.
Cheers, guys.
Cheerio.
Hey, Bobby.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so great insight there from Bobby about how the Poole Cowboys ran riot on the Birmingham Wolves on Wednesday night. And I guess it's still early doors for Poole. Obviously, first time having the track being used in quite a long time, actually. So as Bobby said, recordings don't get used, and there's not much in the way of recordings. But yeah, it was a great win for the Cowboys. So with that being said, we're going to head on to our next little feature, which I believe is our Rider of the Week. Shads, over to you.
Yeah, I've got 4 riders in contention this week. Got first of all, Bewitcher, 11+1 from 5 at home to the Spartans. Very tough meeting for the Pies. You've got Super Dip, who scored 12+2 at home to the Wolves, and also his teammate Rico, who's so close to his maximum. I think his last race, he got beaten in his last race. He scored paid 14. But my ride of the week this week is the Norseman Julio. 14 points from 5 rides, just got 1 point in his first ride. And for someone who was on a 4-point average last season, I think to score 14 at home, or to score 14 anywhere, is remarkable. So Julio is my rider of the week.
Hey, congratulations, Sculio, for the Hackney North. Congratulations for that. Who was the last week's rider of the year? Rider of the week? I have to write these all down.
Gret Locker.
That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah. So 2 Norse riders back to back have got the rider of the week. So rest of the league, you guys got to pull your finger out to get the rider of the week trophy, because at the moment the Norse are taking over. Brilliant. Anyways, moving on to the next little segment we have, or is it a break? I can't remember.
Right.
It is a break, yes. Right, okay. There's no question tonight, guys. We haven't really thought of one. But when we come back, we're going to look at the returnees form, and then look ahead to the League Week 2 previews. So sit tight, or grab a cuppa, bite to eat, you name it. Back in a little bit. Okay, guys, welcome back to All Four Back with myself, Chester, Shads, and Hads, and we're approaching the final sort of part of the show, which is going to be the newbies review, or the returnees form. Which obviously there's only been like 5 returnees to the game this season. So we managed to get both of the matches that they've had at the moment, and I'll say the one that stands out for me at the moment is that guy in the middle, Toretto. Both high scores in both his matches so far, so he's pretty much going to be challenging for number 1 spot without a shadow of a doubt when the averages come out. Just want to get your thoughts, guys. Hads, if you want to step in with this one, just give us your thoughts on the returnees, because of course, as I said, Toretto is leading the way quite comfortably with his points he's got in his first 2 matches. Definitely challenging number 1 spot, isn't
he? Yeah, I think obviously we mentioned earlier I voted against him last week, and he made life very difficult. So, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you got to think one of those teams. If he goes to number 1, then Ryan or DL will be number 3. So it's going to be a strong team, whoever's at number 1, 3, or 5 for the Spartans this season. I've obviously voted alongside Westy Boy, and I voted against Rossi in the first one as well. I haven't seen Chatting or GPR on track this season, but obviously their Chatting 6 and 1's a pretty good showing from number 6. I think if GPR, I think if he puts the effort in, he could easily score a few more points.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, Toretto's been flying high so far. I mean, because when he rode back in season 3, he was pretty much unbeatable, especially around Romford. And he's literally brought that back into the game and literally taken it by storm. So he is obviously going to be the one to watch, I would say, in this early part of the season. Shad, do you agree with that? I mean, because of course all these returnees coming back in, only Toretto sort of stands out. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I rode with Chatting a couple of seasons ago, Swindon Storm, and he improved as the season went on. I mean, he wasn't around much, to be honest with you, because he was focusing a lot on his FC UK stuff. But when he did ride, he was very tough to beat in practice. Whether he put it the same sort of effort in meetings is a lot different in meetings when you're riding against riders you don't know. But I think he could improve his average slightly. Westy Boy's another one. He found it a bit tough since he came back. But he's been away for about 4 seasons, and I think he makes it all for 4 seasons. So it's going to be a bit slow progression for him. Toretto, obviously, he's a class rider. He's jumped straight in, and he looks, same sort of standard he was back in the old days when he was a 9-pointer.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much GPR is gonna improve on his average, because when I've raced in seasons with him, he doesn't seem to be around much for practice. He sort of seems to turn up on the night, and I don't know how much you're going to be able to progress doing that, and whether he makes the end of the season or not, I don't know. He seems to lose interest halfway through the season, as a lot of riders do when they're in a team that's not doing so well. Rossi's been away a long time as well, and it's quite. I mean, what was he? 10 seasons or so. So he's another one who's going to find it difficult to get back into it. But if he keeps hammering on, he got a heat win, so there's obviously something there. But whether he can get back to being a 7-pointer again, I'm not so sure.
Like I said, it is still technically early season yet, so anything can and possibly will happen. And say, Had, do you want to sort of chip in as well, or like with what's going on, and like who do you think is going to be sort of the next rider to sort of impress in the second week of league action?
I think it's going to be obviously we know Toretto, what he can do. When we raced, Rossi rode against us in the first meeting, and to be fair, he wasn't off the pace at all. And he got that heat win, which I think he'll be expecting most of his heat wins to come in heat 10. No disrespect to the other reserves, to be fair. I do echo what Chad said about GPR. I think if will he stick it or not, I'm not too sure. I know Warriors as well have a few weeks off with the bye, and they're not riding next week in the league. So it's whether people are going to be around. I don't think chatting races that much on SC UK anymore. So I think we might see him ride a few more meetings, especially being in the side that he's in with the other lads from there. Obviously Westy boy, he's been around in most of the practice sessions we've done. So I think given a few more meetings, he'll start to score
He's looked pretty decent. He's looked pretty decent, Heads, when I've been practicing.
A few more points, yeah. I think it's just one or two like little errors here and there. I think once he's ironed a few of them out and we get used to Newcastle a bit more in the meetings scenarios, I think he could score some important points for us, to be honest.
Only time will tell with that, because of course it's a long season. Anything can and potentially will happen. As I was saying, nothing's ever scripted in this sport. Powers put a question in the chat actually for us to sort of guess on. He put, here's the question if you want one. Who's the top 3 average career riders in STS home meetings only? And I think you got it spot on there, Has. He said Stefan, first time.
Yeah, I think he has to be, surely.
Yeah.
I think he said he was third, wasn't he?
Well, Tank said Steph, Craig and Unk, and he put only one of those. So, yeah, it's definitely one to ponder about whilst we have our last little segment, which is the previews of week number 2. Of course, as said before, the Warriors have a bye into the in this week. So the first match, as Bobby said, on Monday the 17th of June at 9 p.m, it's going to be the Poole Cowboys taking on the Plymouth Panthers. And only one team in the league can have that many riders with the same letters in their names. You've got Barney, Big Slocane, and then you've got Scotty B, Skyride, and then Cape C, Chatton, and Craig Earl. So 3 C's, 2 S's, and 2 B's. Oh my goodness.
Nice little pattern.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. I don't think they'll ride.
Big Slocane, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Oh yeah, just saw that. Yeah, just saw that. Damn it! You can tell I've been gone for a week, haven't I? Jeez. My apologies, chaps. So Cowboys, Panthers. Cowboys looking to pick up where they left off against the Wolves last week. So how do you rate the Panthers' chances this weekend or this Monday coming, Hads?
I think if they have Skywalder back, they'll score a few more points. Obviously, I think he's important. I think they did miss him in the middle of the team last week. But I can only see it going one way, to be fair to the Panthers. I think Caney and Scotty B will be the 2 important ones. I mean, Scotty's got a bit more experience than most of the guys in that team now. Barney seems to be holding his own about 9 or 10 points, but I think I'm gonna have to go for a comfortable Cowboys victory. Sorry, Panthers.
Oh, gave them all that build up and then tell them they're going to lose the match. Nice one, Hads.
I've got my odds already sorted out for that meeting. I'm just waiting for the lineup.
Oh, okay. So Shads, you've got your bits and pieces on that one.
I think it may go the way that the Germany-Scotland game's going at the moment.
Don't we got 3 Scots in our team?
Yeah. Wow. What's the score, Chads?
2-0.
3-0 or 2-0 and there's a penalty.
Oh God.
Oh dear. And a red card. Oh dear.
Oh wow. So you predict a home win for the Cowboys on Monday night, do you then, Hads?
Yeah, I think so. I can't see, especially with their level of experience all the way down through the Cowboys team. I mean, you're forgetting that obviously Lango's there at number 7. He's not a number 7, really, is he?
No.
Come on, let's face it. So
I saw blimmin' Lango ride for Storm last year, and seeing him as number 7 tonight or this season is pretty much like unbelievable.
yeah,
Yeah, it's madness. Lango making his Cowboys debut on Monday. Okay, thanks for the information there,
great.
Bobby. Yeah,
There
so
we
Lango
go.
gets So that's on Monday the 17th at 9 p.m.
Dan,
Yes, Chad.
we are hoping to stream that meeting if we get the permission of the referee. I think it might be Ben is refereeing, and obviously the 2 captains. So that we're hopefully going to try and get that one streamed.
Well,
Bobby's already said.
Yeah,
Bobby's already said yes. Casey's just getting up off the floor.
God no. So two out of 3. They're
2 out of
Casey.
3 so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the reason is we've streamed pies twice already, so obviously we can't do pies every week. No, exactly. And there's a England are playing on Tuesday, so we don't know how many people will be watching.
Yeah.
So this one makes more sense out of the 3.
Absolutely. Well, I said Ben's not heard from Thrax yet, so he's still waiting for confirmation from Thrax, I believe. So that
he's the only one who's offered to ref. So
yes. So that takes place on the 17th of June. Hopefully, going to be live stream. So do keep your eye on that one. Then 24 hours later, we head to Hyde, where the Hyde Spartans take on the Birmingham Wolves. The Wolves now looking to bounce back after that somewhat lackluster performance against Poole. But again, this is a track that the Wolves could spring a surprise because they have got 3 former Hyde riders in this lineup. So of course you've got Sis, Ads MFT, and Hutty, so they know their way round. But with the likes of Racer Ryan, DL Shaw, Toretto, this one's going to be too close to call. I think. I think Shad, you're on this one, aren't you? Just to get your thoughts.
Well, that's my old home track. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at the scores from last week's meetings, you'd say this is an easy home win. But Sizzler gave us a good lesson round there last season. I think they beat us by 10 points. And Wolfie had a very good meeting as well. I think he was at number 2. He may have been, I think he might have been at number 2. He had a very good meeting there. Like you said, they've got Ads as well, who's very good round there. I think he averaged about 8.5 points at Hyde Road last year. But then look on the other side, Ryan, Toretto can ride any track. He or Shaw, I don't know if he did so well when he came to us with the Dynamite. I think they beat us in the cup. I think it's going to be close. I have to wait and see the lineups, but I don't think this is going to be the runaway home win. It's a very fair track. It's a great track, great racing track. It's a very fair track. I think Scissors are going to have them very well trained. Whether Liam rides or not, I think they might try and go for Hutty at reserve, as soon as he knows the track. And if they've got their full 1 to 6 out, I think this is going to be very, very interesting. Great meeting to stream. It'd be a great meeting to watch.
Definitely. Well, so only time will tell. Of course, Ben Thompson's actually racing in this match as well. So But it would be nice, obviously, to get the Hyde Spartans and see how their new number 1 Racer Ryan goes around that track. And then, of course, then DL Shaw will be potentially defending the silver helmet after the final race. Who'll be against? Who knows? It could be Sis, Ads, one of the top 2 there. Only time will tell on that one. And then finally, on the 19th of June, of course, the Warriors have this week off again. So we'll have the Warriors this week. We have the Newcastle Piemen up against the Hackney Norse. And again, this match, once again, 2 very contrasting tracks, but the Hackney Norse looking to keep that momentum going after the Knockout Cup victory against the Panthers. Of course, had during this match tonight, or on that Wednesday, big match against a team that is in form in the Hackney Norse.
Yeah, I mean, we're yet to see them ride away, so we're not too sure what to expect. I know one of the riders opened a server for everybody the other day at Newcastle. I think that was more to try and see what lines other people are getting, maybe. But obviously, we did ride at home, so they could watch the stream for when we rode at home last week. But hoping to obviously hit back with a bang. We didn't lose too much last week. I know we lost, but it was only by 2 points. But obviously, we were looking to build on that first draw we got away at Birmingham. So obviously, I do actually know our team already because somebody can't ride. So it's going to be interesting because I know the 2 captains have agreed on this day and this time because the Norse couldn't get too many riders at the start of the week. So we'll see if that comes back to kick us in the ass, shall we say. So we'll have to wait and see.
Shad, your thoughts on this match again? Like what Hampton just said. I mean, it's a team that's on form in the Hackney Norse against the Piemen on 2 very contrasting tracks. Of course, Piemen, Newcastle.
As is playing it down a little bit, I think this is going to be an easy Piemen win. I think Norse at home, Hackney, obviously they've got that dialed in. They've ridden there for 2 seasons. They know the track. If Norse missing Max again, I think it's going to make it a lot harder for them. I mean, I think he hasn't ridden this season. I think he's missed the first 2 meetings. So they're going to need to get their number 1 back. But I can still see Piemen winning this. I wouldn't say it won't be a 60-odder, but I think they'll win this one. I think they put up a really good performance against like one of the teams that's favourites for the league, and Spartans, and they went down by 2 points. So I think they're going to win this one. I won't give a score yet because I haven't seen the lineups. Like I say, I know pretty much what the Piemen lineup is, but I'm not sure what the Norse lineup is yet. But no, I think I can see a Piemen win here.
Well, don't say too much because the 2 of the Norse riders are actually in the chat right now in Fakey and Dret Locker. So you don't want to say too much. Well,
You've never bothered me before.
Powis is saying school at 1 on that Wednesday night. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this match is too close to call. I said Hackney are a team on form that just come back in 2 big wins, so they're looking to sort of keep that momentum going. Piemen will need to be on form right from the word go, because one mistake and Hackney will pounce and they will make it difficult for the Piemen.
Yeah.
Cappy saying, looking at our match with Piemen, Powis 15 points Wednesday. Lol. They think Powis is going to get a max on Wednesday. Yeah. So, anyways, chaps, unless there's anything else we want to sort of discuss about, I think we can call tonight to a close. If anyone has any more they want to sort of give out and mention.
Now, just keep an eye on Discord for any news about the stream on on Monday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I will also say we are unsure of next week's podcast. We are missing Tank for the next 2 weeks, so we are unsure what's going to happen in terms of a podcast. So do keep a lookout on Discord for announcements. The same with the stream to see what happens in terms of the podcast. It might be the day before, might be maybe 2 days before. We don't know yet because obviously I'm busy on the Thursday, they're busy on the Friday, on that lot. So we don't know how things are going to go. But I think with that being said, we can wrap up tonight's show. It's been a great show, great being back, and of course, as I said, thanks for everyone for all your messages last week from myself when I was away and had my little, bereavement. But thank you everyone for all the messages. I really do appreciate it. So with that being said, I will say a good night to Shads.
Good night, everyone.
I will say good night to Hadlington.
Good night, everyone. Up the pies.
And I will say good night myself. I am Chester430, and we will see you hopefully next week for another Awful Back. Keep a lock on the Discord. And as Shaz says there, maximums aren't for everyone. And we'll hopefully see you guys next week. Take care and good night.